Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Friday, the 17th day of April. Today is National Crawfish Day. It's National Bat Appreciation Day. And I got to tell you, not a fan of bats.
No.
We had 3 of them in our house last year. Not a fan of bats.
And bats have caused quite the little turmoil here lately. So,
well, it was a guy that ate a bat.
not a fan.
And then National Cheese Ball Day. Oh, my goodness, do we love cheese balls.
Yes, we do.
National Ellis Island Family History Day. National Haiku Poetry Day. And National Clean Out Your Medicine Cabinet Day. That's a good idea, to go through and make sure all your expired... Now, you don't flush or dump down the drain. You don't do that. You take it to a pharmacy and they dispose of it properly. But it is a good day to clean out the old medicine cabinet. Also, I've got a cool guest I'm going to be chatting with, Judge Lauren Lake from Paternity Court. She used to be a backup singer for like several different big artists.
That's
We're going
cool.
to chat with her all about that. And then she's got a new program in the works. It's all on the way. Many people have dabbled in the stock market for their very first time ever this year. If you're new to the market, but you don't want to learn things the hard way and the expensive way, I encourage you to subscribe to this free newsletter. You can get the inside track with Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com. Subscribe for free. If you change your mind, just unsubscribe. Sign up for free right now at marketbeatminute.com. That's marketbeatminute.com. Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Scientists at North Shore University Hospital are studying head lice as a possible treatment for coronavirus. So they're studying head lice. Oh, a head lice drug. Okay, that makes more sense.
Okay. I was going to say.
I missed one word there. It was a pretty big word. Now my head is itching just talking about this. Do you have that, or am I the only one?
I'm not itching. No.
I'm itching just thinking about it. Anyway, they're studying a head lice drug as a possible treatment for COVID-19, and that would be really cool if they can find a way to solve the problem.
As long as they find a treatment for it, I'm good. There's nothing in your hair.
I know, but my head is... Anybody else get that? Just mentioning creepy crawly things like that makes me itchy, so I'm going to go scratch myself. Thanks for listening to Surveys and Studies and Such, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Some credit cards have really high rates or big annual fees. Usually, people sign up for these when it's all they qualify for. If that sounds like you, it may be time to get a better credit card. Over time, your situation changes, and you may qualify for a better credit card. Your current card hopes you don't think about it, but our site shows you many options to see if there's a better credit card for you. Check it out for free at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. We'll have to ask your brother if he knows anything about this. My beautiful bride, Heidi, her brother is a police officer in Sioux City, Iowa, and that's where this happened. It says, worried that her methamphetamines were contaminated, an Iowa woman drove to the police station and asked them, hey, can you check this for COVID? She thought maybe her meth had coronavirus.
First of all, it's not even possible.
I don't know. Sean Salmen, S-A-L-M-E-N. She's 53. You'd think old enough to know better, but she went to the Sioux City Police Department and said, hey, can you please take a look at this meth? She was very paranoid. She was sweating profusely. She said, I think I might have coronavirus. Can you check to see if that's in this meth? So during the pat-down, they found her to have 14.4 grams of meth, some marijuana, and a large amount of other drug paraphernalia. She's from Sioux City, Iowa, and was arrested on a pair of felony narcotics charges and a misdemeanor pot possession count. Released Tuesday from the Woodbury County Jail after posting a $25,000 bond.
Whoa!
Yeah, that's a big bond.
Whoa!
That's not the smartest thing I've heard, but that is what happens when your brain is on drugs. Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. AMC movie theaters are said to be on the verge of bankruptcy because, being shut down for a couple of weeks already. And
so many businesses are.
A lot of people struggling right now. A video of Naomi Watts, she's an actress, she was having a meltdown after several of her appliances broke on the same day. This video has gone viral. That's the thing that I really feel bad. Like viral videos, it's usually somebody on their worst day.
Yeah.
Like, you're not having a good day, and this little video gets out there, and then it's like, wow, that lady is insane. No, Imagine if all of your appliances quit working when you're stuck at home with nothing else to do.
Exactly.
You'd probably get a little uppity about that as well. And funny story, a growing number of TV anchors are now working from home during this COVID-19 crisis, and they found out that most of them are not wearing pants.
Oh, funny.
So, well, to this, Matt Lauer said, yeah, I didn't wear pants when I was showing up at NBC. What are you talking about? This is going to do it for Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
We're here to make it better.
If you find that drug or alcohol problems are hitting you too close to home, you can get help. Maybe it's time for rehab. Your insurance may even cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. Get help for a drug or alcohol problem within 24 hours.
We're here to make it better.
Get more information at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now your scoop of the day, and it comes your way courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. And a historic first caused by coronavirus, Supreme Court is going to allow a live audio broadcast of their court session for 6 days next month. That's interesting. U.S. government is going to own 3% of American Airlines as part of the bailout deal that's being negotiated right now. So American Airlines will be partially, only 3%, owned by U.S. government. This is a sad story and a bizarre story. A Virginia pastor recently held a packed church service despite the lockdown orders, and since then has now died from coronavirus. Eesh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's too bad. Amazon announced they will not accept new grocery delivery customers during the COVID-19 because they had like a huge spike in orders, and like, nah, we're not going to have any new customers. If you've been a customer,
Right, we'll take care of our existing customers.
that just seems really weird, though. You'd think they'd want to grow their customer base.
I'm
but
sure they're overwhelmed.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
if they
suppose.
can. And there's probably only so much product, and
Yeah.
if everybody's ordering the same types
Yeah.
of things, they probably can't handle the...
True. A new survey found 35% of people believe that working from home has harmed their mental health. Only 35%, huh?
I was going to say.
A Federal Reserve study found the U.S. could be facing 18 months of rolling shutdowns until the vaccine is approved. So it's saying it could be up to 18 months of on again, off again. Hey, we're going to have to wait again. Now we're going to do this. Now we're going to do that. So I'm
Find
hoping.
a cure, not a vaccine.
Yeah,
I'm
come up
not
with-
getting a vaccine.
Yeah, just
so
come
find
up
a
with a
shot
plan.
that'll take care of it
There
if
you go.
you get sick,
Yeah.
and that's all good.
Good plan. New York City subway trains have become more of a homeless shelter, with hundreds of people sleeping on empty cars that continue to travel throughout the city, but they're just, that's where they're staying
Right.
now. The bear population. This is really interesting. Yosemite bear population in the Yosemite National Park has quadrupled during this shutdown. Now, here's the thing. It's not because of breeding, because people would have to be going, whoa, how fast do baby bears happen? No. It's because usually they're hidden up in the mountains, like up in the hills. But since there's no cars,
They're coming out.
they're coming down to the park. There's no cars driving around. They say next year's population is going to probably be insane.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of bears. A new study found the coronavirus might have arrived in California far earlier than originally thought, sometime in February.
Yep. I've
We
been
were actually
saying
in
that
California.
for a long time.
We were in California in February. And,
Yep, pretty sure I had it.
a study by The Guardian found that coronavirus lockdowns have improved the air quality of the world's most polluted cities. So there's some positive news, maybe. An elaborate doomsday bunker is on sale right now in Las Vegas. If you're looking for an elaborate doomsday bunker, it's just $18 million.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
A Florida man hit a 50-cent pick five bet, won over $500,000 at Gulfstream Park Saturday. And our final story, Sweden is tightening their quarantine restrictions in an effort to stop the coronavirus. So things are tightening up now in Sweden. It's going to do it for your scoop of the day. It comes your way courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com.
Do you pay too much for insurance? Have you looked around? Or are you too chicken? Don't be afraid to look around to see if you can find a better deal at InsuranceChicken.com. We make it super simple for you to see rates from several different companies, to see what they have to offer, all in one place. Peck out great insurance deals at InsuranceChicken.com. Is it time for you to cross the road? See if we can save you money each month at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. Super excited to visit with Lauren Lake. Lauren is a judge, but before becoming the judge, Lauren Lake. She was a backup singer for P. Diddy and Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and a bunch of other huge names. She also had a television program on HGTV. And then, she found some time in her life to become a judge, which is awesome. She's Lauren Lake with Lauren Lake's Paternity Court. It's on TV each day in syndication. And right now, Your Honor, it is my honor to have you on the program. Thank you so much for joining us. How you doing today?
I am well. So happy to be here.
Well, we're excited to have you on the program, and it's an unusual path to go from being a backup singer to being a judge. But what most people don't know, Judge Joe Wapner used to be a backup singer for the Beatles, right? Okay, maybe not.
I don't think so.
No, he wasn't.
I always tell people I'm using my voice in a different way, and I'm still using the same passion, trying to impart the same inspiration that I do through a song. I do it from the bench, and it is still just as exciting to see how my words can help people grow and know that there are limitless possibilities for their life.
Congratulations on 7 seasons of Lauren Lake's Paternity Court. Over those 7 seasons, you've made a huge impact in a lot of lives.
Oh, it has. We've helped over 800 families. I always said to my team that, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, they're going to be fathers sitting at their children's graduations, at the ballet recital, and at the baseball championships, because of the work we've done. We're really putting families back together, and there is no greater reward to know that your life has purpose in that way.
So when you had the opportunity to become a judge, was it specifically for paternity court, or how did you end up doing what you're doing now?
Well, it was interesting because as a family attorney for, 2+ decades, over 20 years, wow, that's been a long time. I've helped so many families, whether it was, in the court process or also as a legal analyst on television, talking about the law, examining cases, and helping to empower people to understand the law better. It was a natural fit, and when David Armour created the show, he came to me and said that he saw some of the work that I've done on television and said, listen, I have a show, and I want to help people solve family issues relating to paternity. He says, what do you think about that? And to be honest with you, when I first heard the name, I was like, Paternity Court. There's really no real paternity court, right? So we knew that we were going to be developing a niche courtroom. But boy, after he heard me talk about the way in which I desire to empower families to live past their hugest mistakes, that our mistakes don't have to define us. They can refine us, that we can use those mistakes to grow. We just started on this journey, and 7 seasons later, we couldn't be happier to have helped so many families overcome those obstacles, those mistakes that they've made, and know that they still have a bright future ahead if they choose to live it.
That is fantastic. Now, we talked a little bit ago about you singing backup for some amazing artists. Before becoming a judge, you were also on television in a different capacity on HGTV's Spice Up My Kitchen. Lauren, you are a multi-talented person, aren't you?
Well, I always talk about living a limitless life, and I believe we're all multifaceted. All of us are little treasure boxes of gifts, of talent, and it's just about using those things. And yes, for 6 seasons, I did a show called Spice Up My Kitchen, where I help people redesign their kitchen, and it's fascinating, John, because I found that my entire life's work is really about healing people through my creativity, through my work, whether it's my mind or my design skills or my musical talent. In the kitchen, it's all about the heart of the home. And so recreating the kitchen space was really about empowering and inspiring families to get in one space and live together and experience one another. And so that's what I did there. And it's interesting because a lot of times when I think about our families and I'm sitting in the bench and I'm looking at a family torn apart over a paternity issue, I'm always thinking about them like in their space, in their home. How does that look? Can they come together and grow together and live together and be a village? So, it's all connected in some crazy way in my little limitless life.
I think that is fantastic. And Your Honor, it has been our honor to visit with you. Thank you so much for taking time to chat with us today.
Well, I thank you so much, and look out for the Lauren Lake Show, which will be coming soon. I'm taking my robe off.
That is fantastic. We'll keep our eyes peeled for that. And again, Your Honor, thank you so much for taking time to chat, and congratulations on all the successes you've had thus far.
Thank you. You too.
Again, Judge Lauren Lake from Lauren Lake's Paternity Court. It's on air in syndication daily. I've got a link to all of the information in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. right now. Even a little vacation would be nice.
But this one is going to be great.
This October, we're going to Cancun for a fun event called The Sands.
Hear awesome music from Billy Idol, Belinda Carlisle, Cheap Trick, and so many more.
This happens at the end of October. And when everything blows over, we're going to need a vacation. I hope you will join us.
We've been to this same event for the last 3 years, and it's so much fun. I wouldn't miss it.
Get all the information and get your spot reserved to join us at radiotravelgroup.com.
That's radiotravelgroup.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Star Wars was expected to be a flop. The original 1977 Star Wars had a budget of $8 million, which distributor 20th Century Fox was reluctant to give to George Lucas, so he accepted a lower salary in order to keep the budget. The movie went on to make $775 million.
Isn't that insane?
Disney picked up the entire franchise now for $4 billion. For comparison, Star Wars The Last Jedi was released in 2017. It had a budget of $317 million. He was scratching up $8 million back for the first one. So maybe Mr. Lucas made a good decision.
Oh, yeah,
on that.
For sure.
It's going to do it for today's fun fact.
Some credit cards have really high rates or big annual fees. Usually, people sign up for these when it's all they qualify for. If that sounds like you, it may be time to get a better credit card. Over time, your situation changes, and you may qualify for a better credit card. Your current card hopes you don't think about it, but our site shows you many options to see if there's a better credit card for you. Check it out for free at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, a news headline from somewhere in this world, Dateline, India. 9 tourists who broke the lockdown order in India were forced by police to write, "I am sorry," 500 times before they were released from custody.
Okay.
Did you ever have to do that in school?
No.
You got in trouble, you have to write something. Well, first, did you ever get in trouble in school?
Only once.
Let me rephrase it. Did you ever go to school?
Not very often.
She skipped school a lot. You just didn't get caught. I got caught all the time. And I remember one teacher that made me write a bunch of stuff. I had to write on one piece of paper, whatever I did wrong. I don't remember what it was. But and I got my hand all cramped up by the time I was done. Not good. But I can't imagine that being the authorities telling you to do that. I am sorry 500 times. I've got a link to the story. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
We're here to make it better.
If you find that drug or alcohol problems are hitting you too close to home, you can get help. Maybe it's time for rehab. Your insurance may even cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. Get help for a drug or alcohol problem within 24 hours.
We're here to make it better.
Get more information at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Authorities say that a known Florida scammer is wanted in New Jersey by authorities there for allegedly claiming in thousands of dollars worth of phony pizza orders. He's been calling in all of these. The food was being donated to police, supposedly. 34-year-old Sudeep Kentani, believed to be in Orlando, never paid for any of the orders that he placed at Garden State Pizzerias, Brunswick, Montgomery, Plainsboro. Several occasions when the restaurant called back, he bizarrely stated that he wished Italians would get infected by coronavirus. What?
Oh.
It's incomprehensible that a suspect would play on the goodwill of so many during these difficult times, said the police chief. It says here they were able to identify him through multiple fake numbers that he used. New Jersey and Florida authorities are working together to track him down. They added that he's on probation for selling.
Calling in pizzas and saying, "Hey, deliver this to the police department. This is being donated."
Yeah, he was claiming the food was being donated to the police department, but apparently he wasn't really. So he was getting these phony orders and keeping them, but he was saying, "Hey, I'm just getting this for the police department." And then when they called him back, they found out that that's what, I don't know. I'm not sure. I have a link to the story. It's weird news. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Supermarket shopper spotted appearing to be wearing some underbreeches on her head. In a makeshift coronavirus mask, Jared Richter and his wife Jennifer had been shopping at a place in Florida when they spotted a woman in her quirky attempt to stay safe while buying groceries. She was trying to get out of her car. 44-year-old Jennifer froze and started cracking up after noticing beige underbreeches stretched across the customer's head. The woman can be seen it says, packing away her shopping and returning her trolley, completely unfazed by the couple staring at her from across the car park. This must be a British story.
Yeah.
Jared's video has now been viewed more than 35,000 times, attracted more than 380 recreations on social media. And this is one more instance of people coming up with a different plan for a face mask. But yeah, this one she's wearing underwear on her head.
Well, hey, whatever works.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it worked, but she did it. This has been today's Moment of Duh.
Do you pay too much for insurance? Have you looked around? Or are you too chicken? Don't be afraid to look around to see if you can find a better deal at InsuranceChicken.com. We make it super simple for you to see rates from several different companies, to see what they have to offer, all in one place. Heck out great insurance deals at InsuranceChicken.com. Is it time for you to cross the road? See if we can save you money each month at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Now, fake news or Florida? Heidi, tell me, is this a true story from the great state of Florida, or is it hashtag fake news made up to trick you and amuse me?
Alrighty, I'm ready.
Here we go. Fake news or Florida? Florida woman claimed the wind blew cocaine into her purse after being busted for drug possession.
Florida.
Fake news or Florida?
I remember this one.
I remember
it was
too.
Florida.
I'm trying to think of how long I need to wait before I can share a story.
It's going to have to be a while.
Because you remember most of them. What was that? Honestly, I don't think you do most of the time. Sometimes you don't pay attention at all. I know. I've caught you before. Because then I'll say something about it later and you're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, the story. We were talking about on the radio? You're like, when was that? I'm like, today? Like 20 minutes ago? What are you talking about?
I have a lot going on in my head, man. I'm thinking.
Yeah, sure you do. All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news. I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of hashtag gift card challenge. You can find that on a lot of different social medias. And you can find it at giftcardchallenge.org. And here's our headline for today. Cars line up to celebrate the 101st birthday for a World War II veteran, and they did it with a social distancing salute. I love this. He was surprised with a little social distancing parade past his home.
Oh, I watched this video. It was so
birthday.
cute.
Yeah, Alan Cameron turned 101 on Sunday, Pearl River, New York. Vehicles paraded by his home. It says here, he and all of us were surprised, his daughter said. We thought, where are all these cars coming from?
It was so cute.
And then all of a sudden there were signs hanging out the window, happy birthday. The local police department helped to organize the procession. Participants included the Pearl River Fire Department and a bunch of neighbors. Says that he served in France, his daughter said, and he headed to Germany after the war to help investigate war crimes. He remained in the Army Reserves for years after, and he retired as a lieutenant colonel. She says, no, this is actually a neighbor. Has been a neighbor for 40 years. Says he's amazing. And he says they're a different generation, and he is an unbelievable gentleman. So how cool is that? The dude is
it was
101.
So
yeah, and people were really sad because they're like, what are we going to do for his birthday? He's 101. We can't just let this slide by. We got to do something. So a little impromptu parade past the place, and I think it's a pretty memorable one for him and for everybody involved, I'm sure. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. I have a link to the story. It's in the show notes for today and a lot of the other things we talked about as well at johnandheidishow.com.